before we get started on this live, for everyone who's joined in on TikTok, make sure you head on over to marketingmousetrapagency.com, click on the live tab, and you'll be able to see this full live available on our website as well.
Fire.
And tonight we're going to be talking about big brand revenue versus creator revenue and how the market is kind of shifting when it comes to who has the cards, who's the big players in the game, and what are the big players in the game doing right now to change their perspective, knowing all of this information. So what have you learned about recently, Mouse?
Well, I mean, looking at the within these last few days, Walmart.
Oh.
Of all people.
Okay.
Walmart, specifically, guys, in Tennessee, has opened up a recording studio lab, pretty much program, with partnership with Create It, where they're literally inviting people into Walmart to do recording and do studio sessions, whether it be from a creative standpoint of just promoting their brands or recording their creativity, but another revenue stream for creators, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that is pretty interesting to have a big conglomerate like Walmart decide that it was such a big deal in the industry right now that they need to make their own creator space. Now, we're used to going in and seeing the Subways.
Right.
We're used to going in and seeing the McDonald's and the Dunkin' Donuts. But now when you walk in, you're going to see an actual creator space where creators like us and like you can walk in and rent out the space just like you would any other studio and actually use it to create. And I think that's just something amazing that Walmart is introducing. But being the people that we are in the business we're in, we know that there's always that catch. There's always that rule of engagement that you're going to have to make sure that you abide by and that you're keeping up with to make sure you're not kicked out. You're able to stay in that space and use it to what you want to use it for.
True. I mean, that lets you know, if you haven't realized, I talked about big brands from our previous video, and I said big brands will be big brands. But that lets you know that the creative network and the creative community is such a big deal. Matter of fact, it's such a big deal that by 2033, it's going to be 1.3 trillion is what I read. So 8 years from now, that market that the creative and the creators are bringing to the marketplace to sell their products, to get their relationships going with their community and everything else is going to be that big that they're like, you know what? We got to get in on that revenue. We just can't let them take all the money. So we're going to give them an environment to where they can make money for us, and then we can make sure that they don't get all that money in their pockets.
Yep. And as you know, if you know that there's a lane for something, and just like these big conglomerates, they see it just like we do, and they're starting to notice that it's starting to take shape, that we are becoming the news, we're becoming the media, we're becoming everything. I mean, we own the cameras, we own the software, we're the developers. So it's like when they see that, they have to take hold of that in the market and change their form and the way that they're moving. So just like we said, you got to come in and you got to take part of their rules of engagement. So there's still that process, that bottleneck when you come in. It's like, can I talk about this? Can I actually do this? Even if it's not something where your beliefs may get in the way, it may be an action where you want to actually do something big, but you're only constrained to that actual space that they're providing you. So that's why it's always important to want to get your space, to have your own platform that you can do your things on, because when they find out that you're able to do the things they can do, they're coming for you.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the game has definitely changed. The creator community is, understanding that their power is in community. Their power is in their creativity. But then, these things right here, these cell phones, really changed the game. I mean, they really gave you access with technology and different things of the sort to be able to just tap into your organic market. And big brands is like, no, we're not going to have it. So I'd rather you come into my studio and brand and do my branded products versus you actually getting into the revenue stream of your own, and then that's taken away from people buying from me.
Yep.
And that's really what this boils down to. And if Walmart's going to do it, then it's just a matter of time for Target does it, and then someone else. I mean, heck, you can go to the library and rent out the library space, and specifically in Georgia and Gwinnett County, all their libraries have green screens, they have camera setups. All you got to do is rent it. So that's a service that is free to the community. So you can imagine what big brands are like. Hey, I'm not letting this revenue go. I'm not letting the creative content media, steer people away from my stores and my revenue stream. So it's an interesting process.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. And I think over the years, we've kind of seen the paradigm shift from shopping in stores to shopping online. So it's kind of crazy when you see a shopping center like Walmart, who's known to be that space where everybody goes to an actual brick and mortar store,
Correct.
switch to that media space. It's like, okay, so they saw something that we didn't see. We understand that we're the media now, as we keep saying.
Right.
And this is just a vision of mine. This is my own perspective of what I see. But in the next 5 to 10 years, I just envision a place where we're doing online shopping at the stores. So instead of hiring employees where they're going to be paying cashiers and paying people to book shelves and stock shelves, they're essentially going to be paying creators who will stand in cubicles per se and sell their products for them through their online shop. So that's just a vision of mine I see happening because people are going less and less to the store. I know a good 95 or more % of my personalized shopping is done online. Everything from the furniture we're setting on to the TVs we're watching to the cameras we're using, everything is online shopping. So I definitely see it going towards that.
Well, I can definitely see that too. I mean, when you get places like TikTok and whatnot that focus on, you know, shopping and from like Cody said, from cubicle to cubicle, and so that's how they're making their revenue. You're having people that are making millions of dollars just based off of selling one individual product or a couple of individual products. I can't see why the big brands wouldn't want to participate in that because they want to bring that more attention to their brands. And they actually started, you know, you can actually now, I think we talked about this before, where Walmart will allow you to sell your product in their websites to get more people to go to Walmart.com, but yet they see not just Walmart products, but your products too. So it was like a stepping stone. Let's test it out, put your marketplace on our website. Let's see if people actually start buying it. And then from there, okay, they are buying it. So, all right, now let's take another step further. Let's put the actual experience inside of our stores and see how that rolls and keep it going from there.
Yeah, and I mean, I ain't saying that wouldn't be cool. It'd definitely be different because it's like we're all kind of, I guess you could say, bored. I mean, you have to go to the store to get, of course, your groceries and stuff you need immediately right then and there. But even that, you know, I've ordered on Amazon and in 2 hours had it pull up to my door. So, I mean, if you equate the time it takes you to go to the store, find the item, check out, you could literally have somebody drop it off at your door faster and more economically advanced than you would just to go get it yourself. So that's kind of the age we're moving into where shopping, we've kind of already here, but it's getting more advanced to where shopping is literally all done online.
Exactly. I mean, from DoorDash, Uber Eats, you think about all the things that people actually pay a surcharge or a premium just to have food delivered because convenience. So the question is it going to be convenience or currency? You want cash flow or you want the convenience of what someone can do for you? And so why not turn around and make the big brands you?
Yep.
You have a community, you're developing, you're going online, you're making posts every day, you're doing the cap cuts, you're doing, you know, all these things to bring more people to your brand, but now you have to have something for them to experience. And that's what people are chasing now. They're chasing the experience. So the experience is either going to be on a cubicle with you and your products, or it's going to be inside a big retail, and you can decide whether or not you want to sell their products or not, because they're going to definitely have rules of engagement. And the rules of engagement are not going to benefit you, it's going to benefit them.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. The rules of engagement will always benefit them. They're never looking out for you in that sense. Now, will they help you make a buck or two and probably more than a buck or two? Yeah, they will, but it'll be, again, under their rules of engagement. So it's all about how do I figure out how I can get my own platform with my own rules of engagement that I agree with so that I can feel like I have my own freedom to sell and do and say the things that I want to do. And that's really all we're about here at Marketing Mousetrap Agency, is essentially finding out how to get you the freedom with the systems that we create so that you can have your own ecosystem, your own rules of engagement, and do things your own way.
That's exactly it. I mean, you're more free to be a creator and be creative in your process when you don't feel like there's somebody honing over you, micromanaging what you're saying, what you're doing. Because let's be real, if you're on these different platforms and you step outside their guidelines, the revenue stream that you've been getting on a consistent basis goes like that.
Yep.
And that is a real issue for a person that's been setting their life off of these videos and off of selling and affiliate programs and everything else. And because somebody didn't like you, someone want to report, whatever the case might be, And now all of a sudden you go from $100,000 a month to $0 a month.
Yep.
And what are you going to do from there?
And we've all seen it. We've all seen the TikTok stars, the Instagram, Facebook sellers who are crying because their account got shut off the next day just like that.
Correct.
They weren't given a warning, a notice, what they did. It just, the next day they woke up and the account was no more.
Right.
So like Mouse said, what are you going to do when that happens? When you go from making $100,000, $200,000 a month to now you're making zero and you don't know what happens next. And of course, the ultimate end goal of all of this is, if you're going this deep, is to have your own server. But of course, we know that when you're working with smaller creators, everybody's not looking to get their own server, nor can they. And that's okay. So essentially the reason I said that is because when you're looking to get your own platform, it's better to have your own platform even that's on someone else's server than to be hosted on someone else's platform that's on someone else's server. Because let me say this, the likelihood that that server shuts down versus that platform telling you to kick rocks is a lot higher that it won't happen, because that server is using a lot more of other people's platforms. So their other platforms are hosted on their server. So they're not just going to kick rocks overnight altogether. So what I say all that is to tell you that you need to look at getting your own platform, looking at people like MMA to help you structure that ecosystem so that you can be on autopilot, making auto money, and it's secure, it happens automatically, and it happens consistently.
Definitely. And everybody knows that in business, I don't care what you are promoting, if you are paying for something and you find value for it, you'll keep on using it. But the minute that your product is not relative in the marketplace, or it doesn't serve the need that you thought it should, or it's just not working like it started to, then you're like, okay, I need to find another solution. And technology is always evolving. I mean, we're in the age of AI, and AI grows quicker than we can think. And so with that, you always have to stay ahead and not just current, because if you're staying current, then you'll be left behind because you're not looking towards the future. Today's standard is not tomorrow's. And that's how AI works. And our systems that's what it's for. Our systems are built to be advancing for you for the future and not just current.
Because we're always looking ahead, just like Walmart is. When they see that the market is shifting, that's what we're looking for. We're not looking for investment per se into the stock market that way, but we're looking in to see, okay, how is people spending their money here? What kind of items do people like on this website? What gets people's attention in this route? And where are we headed in technology? And we use all of that information to build you an ecosystem that, like Mouse said, isn't just current, but is future driven. Because AI is moving so quick that today's standard is definitely not tomorrow's standards.
Facts. And we don't want people to be left behind, because the reality of it is, and we see it every day because we're working in this system all day. We're working with AI, we're working with UI, user interfaces and developers and everything else. If you don't start now, when you go into it tomorrow, just less than 12 hours, it's already changed. And that, not even just Americans, people as a whole are not ready for that swift of a transition. You're thinking about making a decision, and we're already making another decision. Oh, we need to make another decision. Now another variable, now another angle, now another vertical. You're like, wait a minute, this was just like this yesterday. I know, that's how quickly it is.
That's definitely how quickly it is. And we're noticing that too. Like there's things that I wish that a program I use every day would do. And I'm not going to say it can read my mind, but within a month, it already had implemented that program and that edit and wrote it out. And the company's reaching out to us saying, hey, we just updated our program. You're going to love our new edit. Here you go. And it's like, that's how quick things are moving. When you think you need something for a program, it's not just about, do I have to call somebody, see if I can get it? Do I have to hire a developer that's going to take 6 years to get this together? In fact, there's already somebody in the back end developing in this right now as you speak, and within 2 weeks to a month, maybe a month and a half, it's going to be brought to market and you'll have it in your hand. So that's what Mouse means when he says how quickly stuff is moving. So if you don't get on the train today, yesterday, last week, or tomorrow, I mean, you're pretty much going to get left behind.
Definitely. AI makes one thing relevant, and that means that you have to make decisions. It really does do all the work and kind of forecast what the future could be. And based off of the information that you get, that you prompted it to ask the right question, then it gives you an answer in seconds. And now you have to say, is this information that I just received accurate to where I say I want to go? And it gives you all scenarios. AI allows you to be your own devil's advocate. If you think a certain way, then you can ask it opposite of what you say or what you think and see what happens. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of different ways that you can utilize it to help benefit you. But no matter what, just don't be a person that takes in information all the time. Actually understand that I got to make a decision once I get the information I say that I want, because I'm trying to get to a place called there. And we all know that you got to know where you're going in order for us to be able to help you out, or systems to be able to help you out.
Yeah, that's a good point about not getting caught up in making sure that you keep running through those scenarios and what would I do if this? Well, then what about this? Because eventually it's just like you in the mirror. You're just going to keep saying you're going to do something and do it. And you think that you're doing something by just talking to AI. But if you're not utilizing it correctly by actually breaking down what it is it means and then taking action, or using another AI program to help you with this AI to write it better, and then you move on and take the action, it takes that action. You can't just sit back at the computer and say, okay, now AI, you've written the master prompt, now do it.
Right.
When Nike said just do it, they didn't mean the AI to do the work for you.
Right.
They meant you to do the work.
Right.
And that's what it's always going to be. So I think a lot of people get nervous and scared of AI because they're like, wow, it can really just do the work for me like that. They're gonna fire us. We're gonna get left out of jobs. Like, no, they're not. You still have to do the work. It's just a tool to help you get there faster.
Exactly. And that's the other thing too. I'm glad that Cody just said that. You're able to get there faster, but people still need to interact with people. Their AI is just a tool, and that tool helps you get to the information. So now I can convey it to my partner easier and be able to say, hey, you know what? Based off of our engagement, you sit over here, I sit over here. Let's use this tool to help us get to a place called there. But you guys still make a decision on your side, and I still got to make a decision on my side. AI doesn't run anything. We run AI, but the reality of it is people feel like AI runs us because they feel like people are cheating, or they are doing things, they're making a shortcut to get to their answer quicker. No, it's just the tool to be able to understand I need to go forward, and as I go forward, I need to engage with this tool to help me get maybe some other perspectives that I don't have. But I still need that one-to-one, that peer-to-peer connection with another human to be able to make a decision that we're going to move forward.
Yep, and it's just like you said, it's just a tool. I mean, we don't ride around with a horse and carriage anymore because we've built the engine, and the engine drives our car. So it's like, we don't go backwards and make fun of people because they're driving a car. We say, oh, look, they're not driving a buggy and carriage anymore. They literally have a car.
Exactly.
So it's about using the tools that we have now to their advantage, knowing how to use them strategically and not getting lost and scared. And I told Mouse this the other day, AI for me personally has boosted my confidence.
Right.
I've been able to figure out and do some of the things that I didn't even know I could do. I've been able to ask it to help me achieve pricing and help me achieve equipment and figure out where I need to go and which path. And it's told me, gave me guidance, and I took action, and I reached out to a client and they accepted. So it's like, if like Mal said, if you read what's on the screen and you take action and you don't just get to that infinite loop of what now, what if then, but now, you actually take action, then AI will lead you exactly where you need to go, and there's nothing to fear about it.
And you know what? That's a great point, taking action. And even though we talked about this last week, it's just based off of what Cody just said about taking action is another reason why I bring up the young lady, Zanaya Monet. She took action. Whether you like the decision that she made or not, she took action. And because she took action with a tool that's available to everybody, and now she was the first, now people are criticizing. So do you criticize someone that actually takes action with using AI because of the fact that they realize that I need to move forward? I want to boost up who I am. I want to know that this actually works. Hey, with my actual, not artificial intelligence, but with my actual intelligence, I was able to combine some information that I didn't know I had the skill set to do. Yes, this tool helps me make it better, but the reality of it is it's my intelligence that was able to tap into another intelligence to be able to produce a product that you want to use. So I wouldn't fault anyone for actually taking the time to use it, but just like anything else, it's based off of the individual that's using it where the results will come in. Good seeds, good harvest. Bad seeds, bad harvest. We just happen to be using it good for the betterment of you, to bring you results on autopilot, bring you cash flow on autopilot, and you get to use our roadmap to help be your engineer and your engine for your creativity and your creations.
And bringing this all back to the brand revenue versus creator revenue, just like he says in I Am Monet, she decided to go out on her own, use a platform that was built by other creators to literally use her poems that she's written with her own mind and intelligence over the past years, put it into this platform and say, you know what, forget a record label, forget all these people that want to be my manager at the time, forget all these people that want to help me and be my backup singer and all this. I'm going to use AI. I'm going to use this avatar. And she was able to cut through all of that and go to the top. And she was able to reach a deal in 4 months.
Right. I mean, that's very impressive to believe in yourself. I think the biggest thing that AI will help in, like Cody said, is to help be confident in what you can do.
Yep.
Knowing that you're not replaceable, but you can be replaced if you don't learn the technology. And that's what it is. It's just technology, and technology has always been evolving. And as it evolves, just make sure that you are intentional about learning the new technology. It's the minute that you never stop learning, which is something that Cody loves to live by, and I love that about him. If you never stop learning, then you have the mindset to move forward. But the minute you pause and have information paralysis, because that's what a lot of people have when it comes to AI, is information paralysis. Let me get all the research. Let me get all the information I need to know, and then I'll start. Well, you'll be unfortunately in the grave by the time you make a decision to start, because of the fact that technology and AI is moving that quickly.
Yep. And you can have an information overload, like you said, just like that. Because you have all the answers you wanted, all the scenarios broken down at your fingertips, all in one PDF, and you're looking like, wait a minute, did this just write out my whole life goals and achievements and how I can get there and blah, blah, blah? And I'm not saying it didn't, but if you don't digest those into bite-sized pieces that you can actually achieve in a day or achieve in a week or a month, then you're just going to look at this piece of paper like, what am I staring at? It might as well be speaking Chinese or scripture. Like, you don't know what this is.
Right, exactly. And so let me be the first one to say this to the live audience and the people that will come across this video from today and the future. It's okay to use the tool to help you get to your place called there. It's okay to use this tool to help you get to your dreams. I mean, stop thinking about the negative and think about the positive. What if you actually try it and you make that $1 million company? And what if you actually are able to change the trajectory of your family's legacy because you decide to make a decision? Like, case in point, I know this has nothing to do with AI, and maybe it does and I just don't know it, but in Noonan, Georgia, an individual, don't know who they are, made a choice to pay $5 for a ticket for Mega Millions and won almost $1 billion. Now, what would have happened if they did not make that decision to play and win?
Yep.
Take the time out. I know it sounds really weird, but take the time out to believe in yourself, bet on yourself, and go after it.
And most importantly, invest in yourself.
Yes.
Because nothing comes free. And this all costs a lot in time, sweat, energy, currency, and sometimes even blood.
Right.
So with that, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. I hope you learned something from Marketing Mousetrap Agency today. Thank you, Mouse, for coming over and doing this, because I think the people need to hear this.
Yeah, they definitely do. And thank you, Cody, for inviting me. And I'm glad that our creative brain power can make a difference in the world, whether it's one person or 1 billion people. Just getting value out of us sitting on the couch and talking to the people and letting them know about systems.
Yep. So if you tuned in on TikTok, appreciate it. If you tune in on our website, thank you. We're going to try to keep this up every Sunday. MarketingMousetrapAgency.com. Make sure you tune in there. We will post this up as there as well, and you'll be able to find this on YouTube and all of our platforms. So appreciate it. We'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.